for the fun. Race you to the beach in the morning. Chase you back to bed when the moon is rising. Over all the dreams of the island. In magazines that nobody read. She said, I'll take you back and we'll find them in shells along the pier in the night time, hiding dreams. Perhaps someday we'll find them on the beaches of the island. Waves of love will play on in our hair. No mas for me margaritas. I'd rather lay beside you in bed. Oh, te quiero mi mamacita. Wait until the kids are asleep in bed. A breeze is blowing in from the ocean with memories that nobody read. She said, I'll take you back and we'll hide them in shells along the pier in the moonlight rising. Dreams perhaps someday we'll find them on the beaches of the island. Waves of love will play on in our hair. Dreams will wash away our souls on the beaches of tomorrow. Waves of love will play on in our Oh, te quiero mi mamacita. Te amo me lejos aquí. No más for mi margaritas. Quiero que me vas mi amor. Streams will wash away our sorrows on the beaches of tomorrow. Waves of love will play on in our
All right. I was just checking the stream here. Hello, how y'all doing? Ezra here. We're doing the studio cabin camp out. This is day 3. And if you're seeing this on Facebook or YouTube, what this is I've got a new double album coming out. It's called Morning and Midnight. I'll show you here. There's morning. There's midnight. And I'm just trying to do something a little special for the release. It's actually not for sale yet because I haven't had time to put it up on the store. just getting ready for this thing. But the first single is going to drop in September 19th. So I'll probably get it in there, and at least it'll be available for my subscribers. And this camp out is a private limited release. And so people that have joined are in the camp out portal, and they're getting 2 songs every day from the album until we get to the 20 songs, which is 10 days. I know that's a long time to see Ezra. My wife thinks that sometimes. Not really. She would not like that joke. She didn't like jokes when I like diminish our love. Oh, but anyways, so that's what it is. It's like an event. I learned something a long time ago for motivation. And if you ever have an issue with, the camera's over there. I'm sorry. If you ever have an issue with like motivating yourself, this is what I do. I've been doing this for years. Is I go ahead and like let's just say I haven't practiced, or I need to write a new album, or I need to make an album, or I got to release an album. I'll go ahead and set the date and start promoting it as if the thing is done, or set a show when I don't even know the songs, and set it close enough to put the pressure on me, but not so close that I can't do it. And I will just get it done. I do this with my daughter when we were trying to make a new album. We had these rough songs, and you know, you got to strength test songs. You got to play them a lot before you want to make an album. At least I think so. And so I just forced us by just setting all these shows, and we played all summer long just to get us ready for this next album we're working on. And that's really what this was for me in the beginning. Was I was just like stuck. I've been working on this thing for a year, putting it together for the almost half a year. And I just couldn't get it all done. There's all this stuff. I wrote a book that goes with the album. I have all this artwork and art prints. I just kind of went crazy. And as you see, I'm holding a hat too. But so I set this event to help me get music videos done, get content done, just get my ass in gear to get this thing ready. And so I'm hoping you're enjoying it, but it also is very helpful to me just to get it all together. And I'm dropping music videos in the back end in the camp out portal. And today we had one called Island that I shot down in Florida. It was an island, I guess, or would they call it a peninsula or something? It's one of those ones you have to take a highway to. I forget the name of it, but that's what we're doing. And then I'm also doing giveaways. So when you show up in the portal and you watch anything, I've got this little thing that's going to check and see what you're watching, but it'll see who watches stuff. And out of that pool, I'm just going to randomly generate a winner of some different stuff. We're going to do like a big package with like the book and the albums and the artwork. And I've got postcards. There's lots of little trinkets that go with this release. And then I also got some people I know enjoy the coffee and song stuff. And so when I was doing this, the printer gave me some free hats. I don't know if you can see that. That's a coffee and song hat. And I only have a few of these. I've got 2 of them actually. So that's going to be one of the giveaways. I don't wear hats, or I would wear it. So coffee and song hats are going to be the giveaways. I'm giving away this book, which is a book of poetry and inspiration that I wrote during the album. And then tonight, so the plan is there is no plan. That's the plan. I took a personality test recently, and I was reading it back, and it said, even if you had to speak in public, and even if you wrote a speech, you wouldn't look at it. And I was like, no shit. Like that is who I am. It works sometimes. I just turn on a camera and get on stage and I can just go. But every once in a while it doesn't work. I was asked to speak this one time, and after it's over, the guy that invited me walked up, and I love it when people are like trying to say something nice, but they just give in and just say the truth. And he's like, man, that was painful. I felt like I was watching you have therapy on stage. And I have nights like that too. So let's hope that's not one of these nights. But my plan is that I'm making up right now is I'm going to read a few poems and play a song after that. And the 2 songs that I gave away today were Island and Missing You. And I've been picking those at random, just the 2 songs to give away each day of the album. And Island is from the morning side of the album, and Missing You is from the midnight. And I just noticed when I was playing them back that they're really two sides of the same coin of love. And it really kind of describes the entire feeling of this album, because I'll tell you a little bit about that. So Midnight, this is what I was making, was this album. And Midnight was some songs that I started, or they were kind of being revived during a time that I was going through a divorce with my wife. My wife that's actually right over there, she's still here. So that's the good news. It didn't go through in the very end. We just couldn't sign. But we went through a year of divorce and, separating all the kids stuff and all the money stuff. And it was over. And during that time, I didn't even really remember making a lot of these songs. I actually started a lot, and I was planning on making an album during that time from that era. And so I pulled that out about 10 years or 11 years later out of a drawer as I was finishing an album called We Were Wild. And I just decided that's going to be my next project. There's just some beautiful songs on there that I want out there. But while I was making it, and that's morning, I just kept writing. I got so inspired this year. It was the end of 23 when I was doing all the writing, and I created the album in 24, recorded it and stuff. But I just couldn't stop writing, and I just had all these new songs coming about. And me being impatient, I didn't want to wait till midnight was done. And it kind of turned out neat, because what it is, it's like, it is the two sides of one coin of love and of a life that had fallen apart. That's midnight, and a life that has been rebuilt. And so there's a theme in there. I always like the themes and stuff. And these two songs, Morning and Midnight, they're like the perfect little picture of it, because Missing You is a song you can go into your album folder in the portal and listen to that one. And Missing You was written right when I had made a huge change in my life. I got sober after many years of really trying to kill myself with alcohol and sometimes drugs. And I was going to die young. It was bad. And people didn't think I would make it out of it. And I got to the other side. I was getting sober, and it was right then, though, when you're like, start changing your life, you want all the consequences to just stop right there. But it like an avalanche, it just came down around me. My whole life just completely fell apart. And, I'm blessed that I just kept walking through all that. But one of the consequences was that my wife filed for divorce. And I felt like I had just walked through like hell to get to this place of peace in my life. And now I was losing my wife. And that's where the song Missing You came from. And to me, it's the kind of love songs I like, because it seems to me, and I might be wrong, I don't listen to a lot of music, but it seems to me that a lot of music is just focused on this one little part of love, which is the infatuation, the early love, the breakup, of course, booty, sex and stuff like that. It's all focused there. Like everything I hear, it's very rare that I hear songs that are about enduring love, Every once in a while I do hear one. And so I love songs that are rich with that. And Missing You kind of comes across with that. And also has kind of a strange hope in it and a strange despair, because it's not saying that it's all over because you're gone. It's just it was me seeing for the first time that I didn't want anybody else. This was it. But I still was in a new place. It's hard to explain. The song does it quite well. I'll just let you listen to it. And then Island is the other side of the coin, which is a restored marriage and a restored love. This song was written almost a decade after Missing You. And Island is also a song of missing you, but from a whole different perspective, from a perspective of longing for bygone eras of beautiful times that we'd had together. Missing You on the other side of it is missing you all my life, and now missing you now that you're gone. And then Island is missing somebody in your life. And that's kind of what was going on in my life during the making of Mourning, is that I was just, my life had become very busy. I was making this album, and at the same time, we were fixing up a house and living in two different places. And it just got to, I had this like decade of a rebirth of my love with my wife. And then suddenly we can hardly see each other. We like see each other running through the hall. My friend calls that hallway sex. But anyways, we were just running past each other. But the joke is more than that. I'm not going to say it. But anyways, there's a whole different longing there, a longing for the beauty and the times. And it's kind of a human feeling that time passes. And it really does ache now as I'm getting older. Both the hardships of life, I don't ache so much about anymore, that's very strange to me. The regrets and all that. I spent a lot of time aching over that when I was young. Now I ache over the beauty. And when I see pictures of my children when they're little, me and my wife at the beach, I ache. It hurts. I'm like, get that away. I don't want to look at it. And I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because this is just a brief happening here, and it's moving so fast. So what I thought I would do, I think I'm going to read a few poems about these two sides of love from this author named Ezra from my book. And so this book, I've explained it on a few things. So I know some people that's why I did 10 days. I figured people had different times that they could get on. But I'll just repeat that this book came about during the making of this album. I live in a forest, and in the mornings before the sun goes up, I like to go sit out in the forest with a little campfire for not very long, like 20, 30 minutes. And sometimes I just sit there, but a lot of times I have a pad of paper and I'll write. And I ended up writing a lot during this album. And these are a few poems that I think touch on what I'm talking about. Let's see. So this one would be from the Mourning side. It's called Yours. I'm new at this spoken word poetry stuff. I hear this is the game. This is where the money is, poetry. So this one, Yours, that's what it's called. Oh, I don't want to. Am I blocking that? Okay. Let me get this. It feels weird having this so far. Okay, there we go. I am thankfully yours, a home you made us, with a daughter and son. When we had not much, you found a way, and I am rich, thankfully yours, a home you made, of our hearts, anywhere we go, there is our home. Nothing but a home, and I am rich. All is yours, all we've made is in our hearts when we go. If I go far from home, I am rich, because I am yours, a bed I made in our hearts. Sleep in hearts wherever I go, for I am home, and I am rich, for I am yours. Look what you made, worlds you made, inside hearts. Some will go far from home, flee from riches, for a world like yours. But I am yours, in worlds we made. Beyond these hearts, where would I go? I am home, I am rich, for I am yours. So that's kind of one side of the coin. And then I spilt coffee all over my book. And here's the flip side of the coin, the midnight side. This is called the Carpenter Song. I don't want to love anymore, my friend. No more of the stinging hope of life. You see, long story, I'll try to begin. First we return to the first cause of strife. Love for the first, oh, I wrote her a tune. I'm sorry. Love for the first, oh, I wrote her a tune. The second was sure, her song to remain. The third, how we hurt, for payment I croon. The fourth bent me in half, and out an album came. A carpenter, that's what I was to be. Quiet life, the sun, hammer, wood and nails. But love makes me howl in cheap poetry. Better to go on alone than through hell. I don't want to love anymore. I'm done. the last song, the Carpenter song. I've got to work on my public reading. And then this last one I'll read is just maybe a summation of those two. And it's called In All Human Hearts Be Not Enough Room. What's weird is, so my right eye is weak, so I'm kind of in a weird position here. Okay. There has been much of love spoken by fools, much of love written by poets and saints. Much love has been lost obeying the rules. Love and other harms the painters will paint. And what for love will you not sacrifice? Fear is one spell, resistant and strong. And what for love will be too much a price? The cost of 1,000 worlds gone wrong. Love has chanced a midsummer's tryst, thrown to one side a crushed white cigarette. It's cut from a heart or cut in a wrist. Still no ink of love has been counterfeit. Love, it is written, eternal in bloom, in all human hearts be not enough room. And I write there's little journal entries that go along with the poetry. I'm just going to read one little one. I'm not going to read a bunch of those. So it says, working up a song with my old drummer, Aaron Thomas, he asked, don't you have another word for love? You've used that word in the last bazillion songs. I thought for a moment. Nope. I said, that's all we have, love. And that's a true story. I don't know if he remembers that. So that's my two sides of love. I thought I might sing a song from one of the ones I gave y'all today. And since you just heard Island, I'll sing the other one. And I've been told that the audio quality on these live things are not that great, but that's okay. We're just doing this for the spirit of the camp out. And I will say, if you expected me by a fire, I did too. That's another thing about trying to do, build things and make things happen. Sometimes things just won't happen and you just have to deal with it. And that's what I'm doing. I couldn't get the internet working, but I am going to go out to the forest tomorrow and we might try to get out there and it'll just be what it'll be. But if you'll give me 1 second, I'm going to give you a be right back here. It's just going to be 1 minute. I wish I could do that on stage to mute when I guess I can mute when I'm tuning, but make it where you can't even see me. All right, this song is called Missing You. I don't think I've really played it since I recorded it, so let's see how this goes. Let me get comfortable here. It's one of those chairs that's got arms. There we go. Can y'all hear me okay? Oh, there's a little, yeah, okay. All I wanted, searched the world, found my soul in Spanish girl on a midnight, but I was missing you. Dreams and doors are open wide. I swear I saw God in a beggar's eyes. It was pure light, but I was missing you. I walked along the Pyrenees, forgave the broken child in me. He was so damn tired, but I was missing you. I've been missing you. I've been missing you. I've been missing you. I've been missing you. I kissed the devil and I nearly died. I'm so glad that he gave me a ride to this desert town where I was missing you. Colorado, I sang a tune. We held our breath as we watched the moon going down. But I was missing you. I've been missing you. I've been missing you. I've been missing you. I've been missing you. I saw Vincent's starry night. I touched his portrait and I nearly cried, 'cause it was so true. But I was missing you. I've been missing you. Oh, I've been missing you. I've been missing you. I've been missing you. All right. Thank y'all for coming by tonight. I've enjoyed these last few days. This has been one heck of an experiment for me. I just jumping on live. I've never really done any live stuff, and y'all support on the back end and all the little comments. I just really appreciate that. And the little comments I've gotten about the songs, it really helps. When I told Rob this, Rob wrote me a few times about the songs and how much he's enjoying them. And I was like, he's like, I'm not going to write you again. And I said, oh, please do. You know, I've been sitting on this album for a long time, and really with just the feedback of my wife and my daughter and my son and my mom and my dad, you know, and you got to hear, you know, family loves a lot of what you do, if not, you know, most of the music. And so it's always really good to hear back and to hear a comment of what you're thinking of stuff. And once again, so I'll just end the night with, once again, what this is all about, because I do know, you know, we're broadcasting this to, is that the right word? Broadcast? We're broadcasting this to YouTube and Facebook. And if you missed the camp out this way around, you can still do a replay. And in the description, either on Facebook or YouTube, there's a link there, and you just go sign up. And I don't know, the system sends you an email, and I think you can just jump in and join us. But either way, if you sign up late, once we started, I'm going to make sure that there's a replay ready, and I'll send that out. So you can sign up and you'll be able to get the album and all that stuff on the next time around. And that's any time. I'm just going to leave this thing going. And what we got is mornings and midnights in the book. And I'm hoping tomorrow, if I have some time, I'm going to start getting it ready to release, limited release. I'm only going to release one song on streaming, probably once a month, if that. I kind of like to wait for the whole streaming thing. It allows me time to promote each song, to make a video for it, and, you know, give each song its due. And, you know, I guess any songwriter would say this when they made an album, but these are some of the, to me, the greatest songs I've ever written. And they're my favorite songs I've ever written. So they're like babies to me. They're like my little children's. And so I want to spend time with each one of them and not just plop them out there in the void of Spotify. But I am going to make this available on my store pretty soon here for my subscribers. If you're on my subscribers, it'll be If not at the end of this week, it'll be right after that. They'll be available to you, the subscribers, and then publicly before Baby Love, which is the first single. It's on Spotify now, so you can go like pre-save it or whatever, pre-order it on Apple. So around that time, I'll get it where you can get these albums publicly, and you can download and stream from my website. And that's about it for tonight, y'all. And I really appreciate y'all being here. And y'all just have a wonderful Sunday. I guess this is a holiday in some places. Probably not for me, but it's a holiday. So enjoy your family, enjoy one another, and y'all have a nice night. Good night.